Morning, students, and my listeners. I welcome you back to a lecture series titled MLS 517 on nutrition and clinical vitaminology. My name is Mr. Fidelis Oyakiri. On this lecture series, we'll be looking at vitamins, their roles, their functions, what interacts with them, and not only that, the toxicity of some of these vitamins when it is overconsumed, and that is what we'll be looking at in this very course of lecture. At the end of this very lesson, you should be able to have a firm grip of what the concept of vitamin is all about. If we said logy, it simply means the study. Now, vitaminology is a term that describes the study of vitamin. Now, let's start by looking at what vitamin is all about. According to Casimir Funk in 1912, he said vitamin is derived from two words, vita and amine. What was he trying to say? He said that vitamin contains an amine group, which is not the case for all vitamins. Please understand. He derived that word vitamin from vita amines, meaning they have an amine group, but not all vitamins have what? An amine group. But this is the first biochemist to discover that very term in use today called vitamins, Casimir Funk in 1912. Now, let's look at what vitamin is all about. Vitamins are essential organic compounds that play a crucial role in various physiological processes within the human body. Essential organic compounds, I repeat, essential organic compounds that plays roles in various physiological processes. Please take note, various physiological processes. What process are we looking at? Number one, in process of growth. Number two, in process of development. And not only that, in process of overall health of human body. It is essential because it is not normally derived. It is not normally synthesized from the body. It is not synthesized by the body. It is not synthesized by the body. But because it is obtained through diet, hence it is an essential organic compound. Vitamins are obtained through diet, as the body cannot synthesize an adequate amount of most vitamins on its own. Hence, they are essential organic compounds. I repeat by saying, vitaminology is a study of vitamins, and vitamins are essential organic compounds that play crucial roles in various physiological processes within the body, like growth, development, and overall health of human body. They are essential because an adequate amount of it are derived from diet, and the body cannot synthesize the majority of these vitamins. And these vitamins are basically classified into two. We have the fat-soluble vitamins and the water-soluble vitamins. In all, there are about 13 recognized vitamins which we are going to look at in the series of this lecture. These 13 recognized vitamins are divided into two, fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins. Now, let's look at it. Before looking at this vitamin in detail, we'll look at the discovering of vitamin. Remember I said earlier that vitamin was being named by Casimir Funk in 1912. But there were other noble researchers, scientists that discovered vitamin in one or two events. Now let's look at in year 18 in 18th and 19th century. You will understand that James Lidd conducted an experiment and discovered that consuming citrus fruits could prevent and cure scurvy. This James Lidd was the first to understand that citrus fruit like orange and the likes contain vitamin C and can take care of scurvy. If you are talking about scurvy, scurvy is just a simple term, the bleeding of the gum. This event took place whereby sailor on a long sea voyage suffer from a disease called scurvy by weakness, swelling and bleeding of their gums. And a surgeon called James Lidd was able to conduct an experiment during this voyage and discovered that citrus fruit can prevent COVID. And not only that, in 19th century, in 20th century, scientists Sir Frederick Gordland and Emma McCullum conducted an experiment on animals to identify essential components in food that are necessary for growth and health. In his discovery, he was able to identify vitamin A, which is crucial for normal vision. Please let me repeat these two discoveries by two major scientists and surgeons. Number one, James Lidd was able to discover that citrus fruits can take care of scurvy. Because when a sailor was on a long voyage, there was a problem of scurvy, but this naval surgeon was able to discover that fruit like orange that contain vitamin C can take care of what? Of scurvy. Sir Frederick Gordland Hawkins and Emma McCullum, from their research, they were able to discover that vitamin A is crucial for health and for normal vision. Now let's move further to see. Sorry for that. In early 90s also, researchers also found that the hooves of rice prevented beriberi, a disease prevalence in population relying heavily on polished rice. Yes, please, I want to understand something here, that beriberi is as a result of deficiency of thiamine. But these researchers, they were able to discover that it is as a result of deficiency of vitamin B1, which is due to polished rice, that leads to beriberi. Yes, subsequent research identifies some other vitamin complex like B2, which is the riboflavin, B3, the niacin, B5, pantothenic acid, B6, pyridosine, B7, biotin, B9, folate, and B12, cyanocobalamin. Now, please understand that these researchers, they were able to identify these vitamins based on discovery. In early 20th century, Albert Gorey and Charles King independently isolated vitamin C from citrus fruit, which gave them a Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine in 1937. This was a continuation on the work of James Lidd, the naval surgeon that discovered that citrus fruit can prevent what? Scurvy. But Albert Gorey and Charles King won the Nobel Prize in 1937. Still in 20th century, Sir Edward Malimba made a significant contribution to the understanding of the role of sunlight in preventing rickets. He later identified vitamin D as a crucial factor in preventing bone disease. Already we know that vitamin D is essential for absorption of calcium, and hence it was the work of Sir Edward Malaby in 20th century that was able to discover the role of sunlight in conversion of 7 cholesterol into 25 vitamin D3. This was the work of Sir Edward Malaby in 20th century. Now let's look at vitamin based on classification. We will be considering vitamins that are fat soluble. Please understand, by mnemonic, fat soluble vitamins are ADEC, meaning vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Now, what are fat soluble vitamins? Fat soluble vitamins are vitamins that are dissolved in fat and are stored in body fatty tissue because they are fat soluble. Please understand that. They have basic functions. Number one, like vitamin A, it is very essential for normal sight, which is vision. Vitamin D is essential for bone health because it helps in absorption of calcium from the intestine, which increase the bone mineralization. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, helps to prevent oxidative stress generated by free radicals. Vitamin K is essential for blood clotting. Yes, because there are some coagulation factors that depends on vitamin K. Factor 7, factor 10, factor 9. These are factors that depend on vitamin K for action, and hence they are very important for blood clotting. What are the storage mechanisms? I said earlier, because they are fat soluble, they are stored in fatty tissue and in the liver, reducing the need for daily intake, which means as the need arises, the storage is being released for their essential physiological processes. Now, let's move further by looking at it one after the other. We want to look at vitamin A. Vitamin A is termed sorry for that, is termed retinol. Retinol. It's a fat soluble vitamin that play crucial role in various physiological functions within the body. Yes, it exists in several forms, with retinol being one of the active forms of vitamin A. Vitamin A, particularly in the form of retinol, is vital for vision, for immune function, and for cellular growth. A balanced diet that includes a variety of food rich in vitamin A is essential for maintaining optimal health. Now, I recap by saying vitamin A is essential for various physiological functions like vision, immune function, and cellular growth. You can see how important it is. And I also said that the active form of this vitamin is retinol. And this retinol helps in low vision area. Where there is dark, it helps to convert the rhodopsin in order for light to be well absorbed. Now let's move further by looking at sources of vitamin A. Where can you get vitamin A from? Where can you get it from? You can get it from animal food like liver, dairy products like milk. You can get vitamin A from plant-based like carrots, spinach, sweet potato. These are sources, both animal and plant-based, where you can get vitamin A from. And I have said earlier they have a lot of functions. Number one function is for vision, normal sight. Number two is immune function. Number three is cellular growth. Now, when there is deficiency of this very vitamin, what can it lead to? Number one, it can lead to night blindness. Night blindness, which means anytime there is dark environment, the individual have difficulty in seeing clearly. And apart from that, it can make the eyes to be so dried. And not only that, it can cause increased infection risk. Can this vitamin can it be overdosed? Yes. It can be overdosed as a result of consumption of the sources of this vitamin. And when that occurs, it can lead to dizziness, it can lead to nausea and other various health issues. Now, let's look at the function of this the function of this retinol, which is vitamin A, and how it helps in vision. Yes, the first thing is that there is conversion of retinol, which is the active form, to retina, a component of the rhodopsin in the retina of the eye. This rhodopsin, the work is that it helps to, it is crucial for transduction of light into the nerve signals, which is essential for vision in low light condition, which I said earlier. Where there is low light condition, you see that this very retinol, which is vitamin A, is converted to retina, which is one of the components of rhodopsin. And the work of rhodopsin is to transduce this very light to the nerve signal, thereby making individual to see clearly at night. Now let's look at the interaction. Please, I believe we are following stage by stage. What medications, what drugs can interact with vitamin A? Vitamin A interacts with other vitamins, other minerals like zinc and vitamin D, thereby influencing the absorption and metabolism. Excess vitamin A intake also during pregnancy can be harmful to the fetus. Hence, there is always a recommended dose daily intake of vitamin A during pregnancy. Now, I want us to look at the second vitamin on the list called vitamin D. The name is called calciferol. Calciferol. Please understand that this vitamin is mainly as a result of conversion of 7-dehydrocholesterol. When ultraviolet ray have a contact exposure through the skin, that 7-hydroxy cholesterol is converted to 25 vitamin D3. While in the kidney, the 25 vitamin D3 is further converted to 125 vitamin D3, which is the active form of vitamin D3. This vitamin is essential for bone health. What is vitamin D, therefore? is a fat-soluble vitamin essential for various physiological activity of the body. It is crucial for bone health, for immune function, and the overall well-being of the individual. When sunlight exposure is While sunlight exposure is a natural source, dietary intake and supplementation may be necessary to meet individual needs, especially in a population or geographical location with limited sunlight. I've said earlier that sunlight is the key in conversion of 7-dehydrocholesterol. But in a situation whereby the population have limited access to sun, there are other sources, which is from your food and from other supplements, that can help to meet the daily intake of vitamin D. The daily intake of vitamin D. Now, what are the synthesis like? It is produced in the skin upon sunlight exposure. I've said that earlier. Now, you can get these sources from fatty fish, from fortified foods, from egg yolk, and others. What is the role? What function does it play? It helps to regulate calcium and phosphate, thereby supporting bone health. It helps in calcium and phosphate absorption, and that can help to build the bone because these are major minerals that helps to mineralize the bone for bone strength. Yes, when there is deficiency of this very vitamin, what therefore can result? Because phosphate and calcium are not absorbed as a result of deficiency of vitamin D, it can lead to rickets in children and osteomalacia in adults. Can this be overdose? Yes, of course. When you have taken excess of dietary source of vitamin D, it can lead to toxicity. And when that happens, there's going to be hypercalcemia because it helps in absorption of calcium. I said that earlier. And that can lead to hypercalcemia, thereby affecting the heart. And not only that, affecting the kidney. Affecting the kidney. Please, there are forms of vitamin D. There are forms of vitamin D. There are forms of vitamin D. Now, we have the vitamin D2. Vitamin D2 is plant-based vitamin. Yes, which is called ergocalciferol. While vitamin D3 is called cholecalciferol, is animal-based vitamin. Please understand these two forms. Plant-based vitamin, you can get it from fungi and fortified food. While the cholecalciferol, which is vitamin D3, is upon skin exposure onto sunlight and in other animal food we have highlighted earlier, like fatty fish, liver, and egg yolk. Now, the synthesis in the body, which I have said earlier, vitamin D is unique because it can be synthesized in the skin when exposed to UV sunlight, ultraviolet B rays. This helps to convert the 7-dehydrocholesterol in the skin to vitamin D3, which is converted to vitamin D3. I have explained that earlier by saying that on exposure to sunlight, 7-dehydrocholesterol is converted to 25 vitamin D3, which is a pre-vitamin D3, and thereby converted to 125 vitamin D3 in the kidney. Now, let's look at the role in calcium homeostasis. Let's look at the role, please. When vitamin D helps to maintain proper level of calcium and phosphate in the blood, thereby supporting bone mineralization. I've said that. And in doing that, it helps to prevent rickets in children and osteomalacia in adults. Now, let's look at the factors. Factors influencing the synthesis of vitamin D3. Please, it's very important for you to know this, that there are factors that can affect the synthesis. Number one, sun exposure. I said earlier, what of those in area where they have limited sunlight, which means they must get this vitamin from dietary source and from supplement. Now, which means sunlight is a key. Sunlight is a key. Adequate sunlight exposure is required for vitamin D synthesis. Yes, factors like your skin color, latitude, and sunscreen use can affect synthesis. Not only that, age, the ability to produce vitamin D3 in the skin decreases with age. Please take note, it decreases with age. Ability for you to synthesize vitamin D3 in the skin decreases with age, which means as age increases, the synthesis of vitamin D3 decreases. Now, geographical location can be a factor that can affect synthesis of vitamin D3. People living in high latitude, I said that earlier, high latitude with less sunlight may be at risk in having this very deficiency, of vitamin D. Now, I want us to pause a little here. And take a review of what we have lectured. Okay, I welcome you back to this from break. We'll be looking at vitamin E. The name for vitamin E is called tocopherol. Vitamin E is one of the fast-soluble vitamins which play essential physiological role, especially in helping to prevent oxidative stress. Hence, it has antioxidant property. Vitamin E is vital nutrient with antioxidant property that play a role in protecting cells from oxidative damage. Please understand, oxidative stress is generated as a result of free radicals in the system, and which can further lead to damage of cells. But with the help of vitamin E, the tocopherol, it can help to prevent this very damage. Now let's look at the role. One, I say it acts as an antioxidant, protecting cells from oxidative stress. Where can I get vitamin E from? Where can we get it from? Number one, from nuts. Any food containing food like groundnuts contain vitamin E. Peanuts contain vitamin E. Vegetable oils contain vitamin E. Seeds contain vitamin E. The deficiency of this vitamin is very rare, but when there is deficiency of vitamin E, it can cause nerve and muscle damage. You can understand that from the point that oxidative stress will be increased as a result of free radical generated in the system, thereby damaging nerves and the muscle. That is why vitamin E is very essential to protect the cell from oxidative stress. Now, what are the forms of vitamin E? There are basically two forms of vitamin E. One is the alpha tocopherol. This is mainly from our food. The alpha tocopherol, mainly from the food, is the most biologically active form and is the primary form found in food and supplement. And we have what is called the tocotrienol. They are very less common, but they contribute to the family of vitamin E. I repeat by saying that there are two forms. Number one, the alpha tocopherol, which is the commonest in our food and supplement, and the tocotrienol, which contributes minimally to the family of vitamin E. What interaction can affect vitamin E? If I use the word interaction, which means are there medications that can affect the activity, the functions, and the role of vitamin E? Yes, vitamin E can interact with vitamin C, which means if you take vitamin E together with vitamin E, what happens? It enhances their effectiveness. It can also interact with blood thinning medication like aspirin, warfarin. So, individuals taking vitamin E should always consult a healthcare provider, by avoiding taking aspirin or warfarin. Now, let's move further by looking at the benefits of vitamin E. Yes, the benefits of vitamin E. Number one, heart health. Studies have shown that vitamin E helps to protect against cardiovascular diseases. How? By reducing oxidative stress. By reducing oxidative stress. Number two, it helps in skin health. Most of the products we use for skin contain vitamin E. Most of the products. Check some of the label of your creams. You will discover that it contains vitamin E. It's often indicated because of its potential benefit in promoting skin health. Yes. Let's look at vitamin K, the last in the fat-soluble vitamin. Vitamin K is called phylloquinone. Yes, phylloquinone. That is the other name given, phylloquinone. Either you call it vitamin K or you call it phylloquinone. It's one of the fat-soluble vitamins I said earlier, essential for blood clotting and bone metabolism. I said earlier that vitamin K, there are some coagulation factors in coagulation cascade, like factor 7, factor 2, factor 10, factor 9. They are dependent on vitamin K, and hence they help to maintain clotting mechanism, which means an individual having less or deficiency of vitamin K can have severe bleeding. Vitamin K is essential for blood clotting, and it plays a role not only in blood clotting, it also plays a role in bone metabolism, thereby enhancing bone mineralization. There are forms of vitamin K. Basically two forms, vitamin K1 and vitamin K2. Vitamin K1 is called the phylloquinone, I said earlier. It's found in green leaf vegetable. That is where you can find vitamin K. Green leaf vegetable. You can see why women will want to preserve that nature by not excessive washing green leaf. You can see because they are trying to, or not even overcooking the green leaf, in order to preserve this vitamin in it. Can you see that? The vitamin K2 is called the mequinone. It's synthesized by bacteria in the gut, in the intestine, and in some animal products, and not only that, in fermented food. I repeat by saying, forms of vitamin K. K1, phylloquinone, is found in vegetables. K2, the mequinone, is found in the gut as a result of bacterial conversion in the gut. And some animal products, and not only that, in fermented products, you can find vitamin K2. Now, vitamin K, does it have function? I said it earlier. It has blood clotting and bone health. Yes, blood clotting and bone health. If it is deficient, it leads to bleeding disorder. And I said it's essential for activation of protein involved in clotting cascade. I said prothrombin, factor 7, factor 9, factor 10. These are factors that depend on vitamin K, and they helps in coagulation pathway. When there is deficiency of this very vitamin, that individual can suffer severe excessive bleeding in cases of hemorrhage, in cases of severe cases of hemorrhage. Now, it is of interest to look at newborn and vitamin K. Newborn are always at risk of developing vitamin K deficiency. Why? Because vitamin K does not pass through the placenta. Can you see? It does not pass through the placenta. Therefore, vitamin K injection is given at birth to prevent bleeding disorder. Can you see that? Very important, very important. Children are bound to have that. Why? Because while in the womb, vitamin K does not pass it through the placenta. At birth, vitamin K injection is given at birth to prevent bleeding disorder. That is for children. Now, not only that, so what are the interactions? Vitamin K can interact with some medications. Example, like your warfarin, your blood thinners, aspirin, comadine. It can interact with it. Hence, consistent vitamin K intake is crucial for those on such medication, and any changes should be supervised by healthcare provider. Does it have health benefits? Numerous, I have said that earlier. Number one, bone mineralization, which means it helps to strengthen the bone, and thereby reducing the risk of fracture. Not only that, heart health. Research has shown that vitamin K helps to prevent cardiovascular diseases. At this very point, I want us to have a break. and also look at this. Let me welcome you back to our lecture. We want to look at the second part of the vitamin called the water-soluble vitamin. This vitamin, from the word water-soluble, they dissolve in water and they are not adequately stored in the body for a long period. Hence, there is a need for regular replenishment. I repeat by saying that this vitamin called water soluble, they dissolve in water and not stored in the body for a long period. Hence, for you to have a balance of this vitamin, there is need for adequate regular replenishment. If not, someone can go deficient of this very vitamin. Let's look at it one after the other. What may cause this water-soluble vitamin? Water-soluble vitamin, as I said earlier, they dissolve in water and not stored in the body. They include vitamin C and vitamin B complex. Vitamin C and vitamin B complex are called water-soluble vitamin. In B complex, there are a lot of series of B complex. Number one is B1. Number two, B2. We have B3. We have B5. We have B6, B7, B9, and B12. All these vitamins mentioned play key roles in physiological process of the body, especially in supporting energy metabolism, immune functions, and various enzymatic processes. Daily replenishment, which means daily replenishment is necessary due to excretion through urine. I've said that earlier. Because it is water soluble, they are not adequately stored and they can easily be excreted via urine. B1 is thiamine. B2 riboflavin, B3 niacin. Yes, B5 is pentothenic acid, B6 is pyridoxine, B7 is biotin, B9 is folate or folic acid, B12 is cobalamin. And these are examples of water-soluble vitamin. We handle it one after the other by looking at vitamin C. Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is one of the water-soluble vitamins essential for physiological functions. Number one functions of this vitamin is antioxidant. It has antioxidant property. You know what that implies. Just like vitamin E, that helps to prevent oxidative stress generated by free radicals. What sources of foods can I get vitamin C from? Number one, citrus fruit like orange, lemon, and other citrus kinds of food you can get vitamin C from. Not only that, you can get it from strawberry. You can get it from greenish vegetables. You can get it from bell peppers. At least you should understand what I mean by bell peppers. Yes, they are very common sources of vegetables. You can get this vitamin C from. I said earlier, it has a function of antioxidant. Not only that, it also helps to build the collagen. Collagen, this protein is essential for skin, blood vessel, and tendon ligament support. And not only that, it also helps to support the immune system. And you can see the vast function of vitamin C. Imagine someone that is deficient of vitamin C. Such a person can be prone to oxidative stress damage. Such a person can have collagen weakness, which means elasticity of the skin will be weak. Not only that, blood vessels himself and tendons and ligaments are going to be weak, and such person may be prone to having arthritis. Yes, may have prone to arthritis as a result of weak ligaments on some basic joints. Now, one of the deficiencies is COVID. I said that earlier. Bleeding of the gum. Not only that, swollen gums, joint pains as a result of weakness of what? Of collagen. What interactions can occur in vitamin C? Enhanced iron absorption from plant-based food, which means vitamin C can help to increase iron absorption. It can help to increase iron absorption. It can help to increase iron absorption from plant-based food. Now, the health benefit I said earlier. Vitamin C can help during the period of what? Of common cold. Someone having common cold. Please, I say it can help. It can help. Does not mean that it can prevent common cold. It can help. Yes, by helping the system in the case of immune system. You know, I said earlier that one of the functions of vitamin C is support immune system. Common cold can be helped. Common cold can be reduced when someone take enough vitamin C. Health scale, the skin health also. I said earlier that it helps to build your collagen, which contributes to skin elasticity, and that can help in preventing the sign of aging. Not only that, wound healing. It is essential for the healing of wound, cut, and injury. Yes, when we are talking about wound healing, there are processes, and one of the processes is the formation of the basement of the collagen, and collagen is being synthesized with the help of vitamin C. And when there is production of collagen, the process of angiogenesis blood vessel formations and every other blood capillary vessels will be enhanced, and hence that wound will easily be healed up. That is another benefit of one. Are there factors influencing their requirement? Yes. Please, may I let you know that smokers require more vitamin C because smoking increases oxidative stress. Smoking increases oxidative stress. Hence, vitamin C has antioxidant property. Someone that is taking SF cigarette or any other kind of smoke, tobacco, any kind of tobacco, has a reduced level of vitamin C and hence it needs more vitamin C intake. If not, the person may have oxidative stress damage to some cells. Illness and stress. During illness and stress, the body needs more vitamin C. The need for vitamin C may even what? Increases because it supports energy metabolism. Let's move further by looking at the absorption and bioavailability of vitamin C. I'm sorry for that. Vitamin C is absorbed in the small intestine and is a water soluble, as we said earlier, meaning excessive amount can be excreted in urine. And the availability of this depends on the nature of food preparation and cooking method. Please take note of that. From the sources we mentioned earlier, from greenish vegetable, if your vegetable is not well prepared, and that is what I mean by not well prepared, you cook the vegetable for over long time, you have reduced the availability of vitamin C on that very vegetable, and hence the amount this body is going to be derived is going to be minimal, and that availability is going to be low, and hence that can lead to deficiency of vitamin C. Now let's look at the B complex, called the vitamin B complex. Yes, in summary, I just put it here by looking at, if you look at this slide, I've summarized from B1 to B12 by saying B1 is thiamine. What does it help you to do? Energy metabolism, nerve function. B2 called riboflavin, it supports cell growth and energy production. B3 niacin, it helps in DNA repair. Low cholesterol, it helps also to lower cholesterol. Vitamin B5 pantothenic acid helps in synthesis of coenzyme A for metabolism. Pyridoxine, which is vitamin B6, help in neurotransmitters and synthesis of hemoglobin. Biotin, called vitamin B7 helps in metabolism and cell growth. Folate help in DNA synthesis, especially during pregnancy. You can see why women take folic acid during pregnancy to prevent what is called neural birth defect in neonates, neural birth defect in the babies. That can be as a result of, it can defect the brain and the spinal cord of the very baby. Now, if you look at vitamin B12, called the cobalamin, it helps in nervous system health and red blood cell formation. Someone not taking this vitamin B12 can have what we call megaloblastic anemia. Now, I want to handle this one after the other. We will look at this by checking vitamin B1. Vitamin B1, I say, is called niacin. Sorry, it's called thiamine. I'm sorry for that. Thiamine. I repeat by saying thiamine. It's a water-soluble vitamin. It plays crucial roles in energy metabolism and nerve function. Thiamine is a crucial B vitamin that supports energy, nerve function, as it supports nerve function. Hence, a well-balanced diet that includes thiamine-rich food is essential for maintaining the adequate level of this important nutrient. Can you see that? For maintaining the level, which means a nutrient that has this is very important. It's very important for you to take nutrients that contain thiamine. You will agree with me earlier. I said thiamine deficiency can lead to what? Beriberi. I said that in my first slide. Beriberi, during the discovering of what? Of thiamine, vitamin B1 for those consuming polished rice. Now let's move further by looking at the sources of this vitamin B1. You can get it from grains, you can get it from legumes, you can get it from nuts, you can get it from meat, you can get it from fish, you can get it from vegetables. Can you see? I'm sorry for that. These are sources of vitamin B1. Whole grain, rice, wheat, cereals, beans, lentils, pear, sunflower seed, peanuts, pork meat, beef, organ meat like liver meat, kidney meat. You can get it from spinach and you can get it from corn squash. All these are sources where vitamin B1 can be derived. Now let's move further by looking at the biological functions of vitamin B1. I said that earlier that B1 helps in energy metabolism in cases of acting as a coenzyme in a lot of metabolic pathway. Please, I have said that earlier in course 10 enzymology, coenzymes. Now, if you look at this thiamine, it helps in facilitating the conversion of carbohydrate into energy through the citric acid cycle, the Krebs cycle, and also the TCA. Not only that, the nerve, it helps in nerve to keep nerve function, which means it is essential for proper function of the nervous system by supporting the synthesis of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine. You can see they are all important. Apart from that, it can help in mental function, which means adequate thiamine contribute to cognitive functions. Yes, and may have a role in mental well-being. What am I talking about? Which means for you to have a memory retention, ability to distinguish from one or two things, there is a need for you to have an adequate thiamine level in the system. Now, deficiency of thiamine can lead to beriberi. I've said that earlier. Deficiency of thiamine can lead to beriberi. Beriberi are of two types. One, we have the wet beriberi, and also we have the dried beriberi. And please take note of that. The wet beriberi affect the cardiovascular health, leading to heart failure, while the dried beriberi affect the nervous system, causing muscle weakness and paralysis. Please take note of that. I said that again. Take note that there are two types of beriberi: the wet beriberi and the dry beriberi. Now let's move further by saying some of the deficiency. Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, which is very common in alcoholics. It involves a severe memory and coordination problem. For alcoholics, those consuming excess of alcohol, they develop this type of syndrome because alcohol will inhibit absorption of vitamin B, and hence this syndrome can occur, which is centered on memory and coordination problem. Now, what factors can influence requirement? I said that earlier. For those taking alcohol, they need more vitamin B. If not, there is bound to be what? Deficiency, because vitamin B deficiency can also occur as a result of alcohol consumption, which impair the absorption of this vitamin B. There are medications also that can affect vitamin B. Yes, individual with malabsorption, individual undergoing kidney dialysis may have a risk of having this deficiency. Please understand that what we are looking at is water-based, water-soluble vitamins. You can understand that someone undergoing dialysis, there is intake, outtake, just trying to purification of the blood through filtration reabsorption process through dialysis mechanism. That can even lead to more loss of this very vitamin because they are water soluble. Now, interactions. Medications like diuretic like furosemide may increase the excretion of what? Of thiamine. Please, I said it earlier, they are water soluble, and that can lead to potential loss of vitamin B1, thereby causing deficiency. Now, with this, I want us to stop the lecture and continue later in this very series. We'll be continuing in this lecture in the next series. Please take note. We'll continue in the